Welcome back to Comic Reflections. You're listening to part 3 of our conversation about Crisis on Infinite Earths. We will be wrapping this up
Yes.
with this part. So,
And I mean, we could have done
we could have done an hour on each issue, but
Right.
who wants to listen to all that?
Right. And so we've given you... There's going to be 3 hours or so of Crisis and a little more other stuff.
Yeah.
But this is not going to be 3 hours.
No. This
Combined.
part,
Combined.
Altogether, it will come to about 3 hours. Because I think when we started the Crisis conversation, we spent about a half an hour talking about wrapping up the Captain.
The Captain, yeah.
And then we did 45 minutes on Crisis. And then earlier today, we did an hour and 15 on Crisis.
Yeah.
So, this should...
This should wrap it up. I don't think we're going to...
So that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to spend another hour.
No. We have 2 issues left.
Yes.
And...
Well, the one was double size, so... But
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So let's jump in. We left off with Spectre and the Anti-Monitor fighting and a grand explosion.
The Anti-Monitor's third defeat in the series.
Right. And so we jumped back and we... excuse me, hold on.
Hold on loosely.
Okay.
Where are you?
I'm looking at things and it's... The front page is scenes from the coming issue. Or this issue coming up.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused. It was out of order in my mind.
Okay.
I'm back on top.
Okay.
So we start back in the first readable panel is black.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of starting off just the same way as the beginning of this series.
Mm-hmm.
And the rapid expansion and birth of a universe.
Mm-hmm.
And this universe has one Earth.
Indeed.
All the Earths have been combined.
Yes.
You don't really completely find that out until a little later when Kal-El from
Earth 2
shows up at the Daily Planet as the boss, but is kicked out by
Perry White.
Perry White
and covered for rather quickly by Kal-El of Earth 1.
Right.
And they go off to
uncle, and so they jump out of their identity clothes and into their super suits. I don't know, are they super suits? I'll call them super suits.
Into costume.
Yeah.
And away they go to figure out what tarnation is going on here.
Right.
I need to plug in my power cord while you go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. The Supermans are confused as to why certain aspects of Earth 1 and Earth 2 are all in one place. There are some aspects of Earth 1 that aren't there and were replaced by Earth 2 things. And there are people who don't recognize Superman from Earth 2 and Superman from Earth 1. It just kind of depends on where they are at on Earth.
Yeah, they go to visit Jay and Joan Garrick of Earth 2, and Jay recognizes the Earth 2 Superman, but Joan does not.
Right.
Because they were all present during the Crisis.
Yes. And so from there we find out that the Earths have all been combined and that they want to get it back to the multiverse because that's where their homes are. And so the Supermans, Kid Flash and the Flash, Golden Age Flash, decide to use the cosmic treadmill?
Yes, the cosmic treadmill.
To cross the planes of the universe. And in doing so, they realize that there is no other universe other than their own. Superman from Earth 2 is drawn into the blackness by a force unseen, and it doesn't really explain what that force is. All he knows is that he does not belong on this Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and that his Earth has been destroyed, and he's homeless. He has no home at this point, and yeah, we the Superman is saved by Superman from Earth One,
Mm-hmm.
and they quickly jump back to the universe they came from, and the cosmic treadmill is completely destroyed, without any repair. Um, and then we have the this group of travelers. The what did you call them?
Well, some of them are became a team of heroes known as the Forgotten Heroes. You see Rip Hunter, Time Master, you got Dolphin, Animal Man. They were part of that team. We also
Right.
see the Atomic Knight, Adam Strange, and Captain Comet.
Right.
And were they aboard Rip Hunter's time
Yes, I think so.
thing? Okay.
But they come in contact with the awesome skull ship of Brainiac,
Yes.
and they don't know what it is, but they decide to board it. And they try to search it out and figure out what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Brainiac is dead.
Which
but-
he's probably not.
Right. As we know, he just kind of saved himself to the ship's computers,
Mm-hmm.
and is kind of in a stasis mode.
Yeah.
But then we jump back to Earth, not one or two, just
It's Earth now.
and to the Teen Titan
Titan's Tower.
Titan's Tower. Yeah.
And it seems like we're gathering everybody. It looks like we've got the League, we've got the Titans, the Justice Society, and heroes from Earth S, X, and Earth 4 as well.
Right.
And they've all lived on this same Earth, except we've got some
Um,
problems, some inconsistencies.
Right, and people are kind of freaking out. Some people have a home, some people don't have a home.
Right.
Batman's daughter,
The Huntress
the Huntress,
from Earth 2.
right? Her father's grave, his everything is gone.
That's right.
And we have who's Dick Grayson
From Earth 2 as well.
from Earth 2. He's there to comfort her, but I mean they're without a home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're feeling the effects of that.
They're all having the Lady Quark syndrome.
Yes, definitely. And then we have a reappearance of Harbinger.
Yes. And it's
she-
Lila as Harbinger again.
Right. She's has her powers back from the rebirth of the universe.
Okay, makes sense.
And so yeah, we get the Huntress story.
I find this issue was one of the most hard-hitting.
Oh
It's
yeah,
got such a heavy impact. Like, wow.
definitely. And I mean, Harbinger kind of goes through the history of this Earth.
Mhm.
That although the heroes present at the birth of it remember everything,
Mhm.
this is how it all went down.
Yeah.
And so, yes, they were present. A form of them was present at each interval,
Yeah.
but now they're all gathered together.
It's a unified history.
Right.
And as I said, I think before we started talking about this, for instance, if you're following continuity, like the stories of Superman and Batman from the Golden Age become apocryphal in this new continuity. They never really happened, and essentially they were then in the Silver Age, when many of the heroes like Barry Allen, Flash, and Hal Jordan,
Right.
Green Lantern, those were the times when Superman and Batman were then introduced. In this history, they had not existed previously. So the Justice Society preceded all of those guys, and the Justice Society were the old men, so to speak,
Right.
that Superman and Batman did not fight alongside with, but didn't meet till about 20 years later.
Right. And this throws a few into kind of a frenzy.
Because then essentially Superman and Batman do not surface,
Right.
do not appear until 20 years.
Right.
Okay, and then they had been.
Kal-El from Earth 2
Mm-hmm.
goes into a bit of a frenzy and just takes off.
Mm-hmm.
He's furious that his world is just
Oh,
gone.
he's more than that. He's just
Yeah.
he's devastated. It's like,
Yeah.
no, his Lois never existed.
Right,
Why? What is my purpose?
right.
His Krypton never was.
And so we have Superman from Earth 2.
Mm-hmm. And Superboy Prime.
Right. Kind of going after him
Mm-hmm.
to kind of calm him down and bring him back from the edge. The next place we go is to the otherworldly.
It seems like some kind of other netherworldish type. And Deadman and the Phantom Stranger and the Spectre are kind of having a bit of a...
Right, but Spectre is kind of in this comatose state.
Right.
Because of his battle with
The Anti-Monitor.
The Anti-Monitor. we then have a kind of a surprise attack from the Shadow Demons, the warriors of the Anti-Monitor, which kind of gives us a heads up that maybe he wasn't destroyed like we thought he was.
And I think we're seeing that Dr. Fate and Dr. Occult are among the first to realize this, that the threat is not over.
Right. And so we have here Amethyst also fighting off the...
Princess of Gemworld.
Right.
And she is blinded in this battle.
She's rescued by
Etrigan, the demon.
Etrigan, and I think
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate. Is that...
That's Dr. Occult right there.
Right, yeah. I think he was... Yeah, he was wearing a hat. He's not now.
I think it fell off.
Yeah, probably. But you can't always keep track of your hat.
Hats fall off.
Right. Not everyone is Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Not all of us staple it to our heads.
Right. And so they rescue Amethyst. And then we go back to the story of the Superman's Kal-El, saving Kal-El. I wanted to mention this earlier. It was interesting for me to see that Kal-El from Earth 2, the Golden Age Superman, is spelled Kal with just a single L afterwards.
And the Superman of Earth 1 is Kal-El with E-L. Yeah. They had to differentiate it somehow, and I think that's a Golden Age thing. I think that's what they did.
Okay, yeah, and I'm totally fine with it because
And I'm a little fuzzy with all. As we carry on, we also see that the Wonder Woman of Earth 1 is visiting Paradise Island, and her mother doesn't recognize her because this is not her daughter.
Right. And so Earth 2 Wonder Woman shows up.
Yeah.
Kind of calms things down.
I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe that the Golden Age Wonder Woman stories are also apocryphal at this point.
Okay. And so we
I think that's a hint to like the Earth 1 Hunter, Earth 2 Huntress, and all those characters that are kind of caught outside of it. We realize they're not supposed to exist. The ones that are normally integrated, like the Justice Society members, everything's hunky dory. Everything they did happened. But yeah, Earth 2 Batman, Earth 2 Wonder Woman, Earth 2 Huntress, and Robin, and Earth 2 Superman, those stories didn't happen.
Okay.
Their incarnations that were introduced in the Silver Age are there. That's the true historical point now. This is... they're retconned away, so to speak.
Right.
Retroactive continuity. Right. So yeah.
And so we head back to Titan Tower. We have Batman, Robin, and Alex Luthor.
Talking to Lex Luthor of Earth 2.
Yeah.
The only Luthor now.
Kind of ask him, hey, thanks for your help in this war. And he's like, what are you talking about? I would never help you.
Exactly. Typical Luthor.
Yeah. And typical Detective Batman trying to figure things out. Brings back the news. We are then kind of shocked to see another electrical storm happening outside. Kind of the same thing that was happening prior to...
when the crisis first broke out.
Right, yeah.
Prior to the antimatter wave hitting these Earths.
We have we head back to to Gorilla City.
And the Solivars lay dying, I believe.
Yes. Um, he might still be alive,
Okay.
or he's injured. Something. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Um.
there's Cave Carson.
Oh, okay.
Cave Carson is showing up.
And so we have
Sure.
the shadow demons showing up, fighting the gorillas, killing them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an expedition down into Peru, into a cave in Peru, where there's a huge energy
Vortex, I would
vortex,
say, yeah.
happening in this cave.
I love that they have Cave Carson just discover this. That's great.
And that erupts, and once again, we have the threat of the
The Anti-Monitor.
anti-monitor. But this time, this Earth is sucked into the antimatter universe.
Or is being threatened to be sucked into.
No,
It
it's
is?
Yeah, it's sucked in there. And
Okay,
so
my
we
mistake.
have the anti-monitor's face.
His visage appears.
Yeah, over Earth, and
Yes.
that's the end of that first.
First of the
issue.
last part, yes.
Yeah. And so we move on, and we're back with the group who've kind of boarded the Brainiac ship, and they realize that they see Earth just disappear, and they're worried. They don't go with it. They're stuck in Brainiac's ship, and Brainiac wakes up.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And so Brainiac realizes, I have to help these guys. If I want to survive,
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, and this is rare because the only time you'll find Brainiac in cooperation with others is either to be used them as pawns or he has no other option.
Right.
It is all self-preservation.
And so the heroes in this ask Brainiac what he's gonna do, and he says he's gonna take them somewhere
Mm-hmm.
that.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And so
I believe...
we have a break in that story.
Oh,
again.
so that little subplot goes away for just a bit.
Yeah, and so we are back on Earth in the antimatter universe, and things are kind of well, they're going to hell. They realize that they're in big trouble. Everyone can see and hear the anti-monitor,
Mm-hmm.
and he reveals that the Flash has died.
Yes, Barry Allen.
Yeah, Sorry.
We've confirmed. It's okay.
Barry Allen is dead, and this really hits Wally West.
As it should. It's his uncle
Yeah,
and his mentor.
his friend.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are actually his words. It's his uncle, his mentor, and friend.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like not reading it. I must have committed to memory subconsciously. That's hilarious.
And so the Earth is thrown into this blackness.
Darkness is.
There,
Sorry.
there's no light. The only folks you can see, is are the Supermans who use their telescopic vision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how that works. Science, I don't know behind it.
But
But
you just gotta go with
I'll
it.
just go with it. And so Superman with his super eyes and Superman of Earth 2 sees and hears everything that's going on, and he's broken up about it. They have to do something, and so Harbinger busts in on the scene, and she says, "Are you ready to go fight?" And they're both ready. They want to go now. She says, it is time to act. It's time to attack." And so she grabs the two Supermen by the hands, and they're off. And then she starts gathering heroes again. And one of the only places on Earth with light is back in Tokyo, Japan.
No, dun, 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 dun.
We have
We meet Dr. Light.
Dr. Light.
The new Dr. Light.
Yes.
The chick.
Yeah. And she's realizing that she's gonna have to be used, and she's essential to this new plot.
Mm-hmm. The new plan to defeat the
Right.
Anti-Monitor for fourth time?
I think it'll be the fourth time.
Okay. He just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
He's like the original Bad Penny, that Anti-Monitor.
Right. And so the Earth is black, and then there's a small crackle of light, and then that light kind of explodes, and they are thrown, like the Earth is thrown into chaos with the arrival of
Shadow beasts, creatures again.
the
Yeah.
shadow demons that
Yeah.
just destroy everything.
You get another "Don't Blink, You'll Miss It" appearance of the Challenges of the Unknown.
Right.
Prof, Red, Rocky, Ace, and June. So, so
Um,
I
and
love them.
the shadow demons are just snatching people up and just they cease to exist. It's matter and antimatter coming into contact, and so we have the heroes in their different locations where they typically fight,
And that's essential, you know. Location, location.
right?
Oh.
Fighting off these shadow demons.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, they're having a heck of a time with it.
I know. I see Lori Lamaris and Aquaman fighting side by side. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's a little story if you don't know. In college, Clark Kent had a girlfriend who turned out to be a mermaid,
Really?
who was Lori Lamaris.
All right.
There are two cities of Atlantis. One is the mermaid people, and one that are totally like bipedal.
Okay.
I can't remember how and why that happened, but I think it was when Atlantis sunk. There was two areas, and then they evolved
okay.
differently or some crap. But anyway, yes, that was the story, and she figured out, of course, that he was Superman in
Right.
college. And blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I've read quite actually a number of Lori Lamaris stories.
So I mean, we're all over Earth at this point, and the heroes are trying to destroy the shadow demons, but it looks like they're kind of have the upper hand because
Well,
they can
right,
pop in and out and just destroy things.
exactly. Tough.
And so we hop back to this space between space where the Dead Man, Spectre, and
The Phantom Stranger.
the Phantom Stranger are kind of hanging out. Oh, not just hanging out. They're
It's
plotting.
chillaxing. Sorry.
And so this is also where the heroes are gathering
Mm-hmm.
and kind of devising their plan. And so once again, Alex Luthor
Mm-hmm.
opens up a kind of portal to where he can get to. Now this is kind of where it gets a bit confusing.
Is it to the antimatter universe again?
I think it's just so they can get to the antimatter, the anti-monitor.
Okay.
Right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a little but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's right. And we cut back to the Adam Strange, Dolphin, Atomic Knight, Brainiac, etc., and Animal Man.
right.
And they have landed on the world of Apocalypse, and they are face to face with Darkseid.
Right. And Darkseid decides, all right, to help. It doesn't
Which is
take
totally rad.
right. It doesn't take much to convince him. Really, they just tell him what's up, and he's like, all right.
Well, I mean, it's Brainiac talking. I guess he knows what he's talking about.
Right. And so
Darkseid's no fool.
we it jumps back to Earth, and we start seeing heroes die, which it's kind of a bummer because we see the Dove.
Oh, that's right.
The Dove gets killed, which is, it's kind of a bummer because he seems like a very level-minded.
He's very thoughtful.
Right.
He's a soft-hearted guy.
Right.
The Dove.
And
He is the conscience to, the duo of Hawk and Dove, because
Right.
Hawk is so hot-headed
yeah,
and extreme. So they balance each other out.
yeah. And so we jump from reporter to reporter to kind of get a idea of what's going on. And so back in Salem, there is a gathering of
This is a Dr. Fate's headquarters.
there's
This
a
tower or
gathering
whatever that
of
is.
all
mystic
mystic
heroes
so-
and villains. I think I see
okay.
I see Felix Faust amongst our heroes.
Okay. But we have
Felix Faust is villainous as all hell, y'all.
uh,
Anyway.
Dr. Colt and the Green Lantern are both there.
Oh, yes, Alan Scott.
Yes, the Alan Scott.
First Green Lantern.
Alan Scott comes because his Green Lantern is mystical. It's not of science or anything like that.
That's right.
And so the Dr. Colt,
who's like talisman or whatever.
yeah, and the Green Lantern are used as kind of like a catalyst for all of the magical energy going to be.
They're kind of powering it through there, collecting it through it like a conduit.
Right.
Which is pretty sweet.
And so, they were sent. The heroes were sent to Quard.
Yes.
Back to the
Quard.
Antimatter world of Quard, where they kind of like gather for their assault on the Anti-Monitor.
Final assault against the Anti-Monitor.
And so, Wally West shows up.
Oh yes.
He says, "Look, you're not going to do this without me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to stand up for my friend."
And you notice it's aside from Wally, this is the original crew that fought that first time at the Anti-Monitor's fortress.
Right.
It's Wally and Superman. I don't know if it's I don't see the Earth 2 Superman, but
I think he's there.
Okay.
He's just
I see Captain Atom, Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
Dr. Light, Power Girl, the Ray. Yeah. So it's all those cats.
And so we see another glimpse of Barry Allen before he goes.
Another of his fade outs, and it's the last one.
And it's right in front of Wally.
Yeah.
Which is, gotta be heart-wrenching.
Word.
And the other superheroes see it, and then they see Wally is able to trace the vestige of Barry Allen, and he chases it, and he comes to a stop, and he sees the Psycho-Pirate
trying to drag Barry's costume out of the rubble,
right,
and he's still like pleading with the Flash to save him from the Anti-Monitor.
He's completely lost it.
He's bonkers.
Yeah. Wally kind of takes out the Psycho-Pirate for a moment.
Yeah, gives him another beating.
Right, and so Wally's able to recover the
Barry's
costume and the ring. But then
bearer of the ring, the wearer of the ring. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
The Pariah shows back up, and
as does the Anti-Monitor.
Right.
In a full-page panel.
Yes.
Looking very epic.
And he is proclaiming that this is the day the universe dies. And then it stops, and we take a break back to underwater Atlantis, and
we see Mira and Lori Lamaris battling shadow demons.
Right.
And Lori Lamaris is killed to save Mira, who is the bride of Aquaman.
Right.
A noble death.
We jump to Chicago, Philadelphia, New Orleans.
Chicago.
Skartaris, Gotham City.
Oh, Skartaris is that under the earthness.
Okay.
That's, the warlord's there. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Where else do we go to New York?
Yes.
And we see destruction. We see
the Earth 1 Green Arrow perishing with the battle with the.
Is that Earth 1? Or is
yeah,
that Earth 2?
That's definitely. Oh, excuse me, Earth 2.
Yeah,
I always do that.
That's okay.
Because I think Golden Age first.
Right.
So I always want to do that.
Right.
He and the Peacemaker of Earth 4 are fighting these guys, and
it looks like Green Arrow dies here.
Yeah. But don't worry, our Ollie Queen lives.
Who else we have? Is that Catwoman?
No, that's gonna
Wildcat.
That's gonna be the new Wildcat.
Yeah. What else?
Cole. That was the gal I was trying to remember her name, who had turned Black Adam into Crystal or whatever.
Right.
Cole of the New Teen Titans, probably the shortest serving member of the Titans of the 80s anyway. She also is killed here by the Shadow Demons.
Right. We jump back to Salem, the headquarters of
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate, and the Mystics.
We'll call them the Mystics.
Okay.
That's a good way to go with that.
They succeed in their enchantment, and they cover the Earth in
Like a protective field.
right,
Okay.
and it draws all of the shadow demons into it, and they're captured in this ball of mystical energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so the heroes are able to.
Now I'm confused. Are they just the shadow demons destroyed, or are they just sent back to the antimatter universe?
They're actually being held prisoner at this
Okay.
point. And this gives the heroes time to collect the fallen and help the wounded.
Indubitably. Okay.
And then we jump back to Quard
Yes.
and the just onslaught of heroes on onto the anti-monitor.
Yeah.
And I mean they're not doing much, but
Well,
they have a plan.
Yeah.
Um,
You notice we're seeing that both Wonder Women.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're taking their punches. They're, everyone is participating in this onslaught.
Yeah.
But we find out it's just a distraction. Harbinger sends the new Dr. Light to absorb the energy of one of the binary suns.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Just absorb it as much as possible. And then, let's see.
I see Negative Woman of the Doom Patrol.
Right.
Kind of wrapping her energy form around the anti-monitor, kind of binding him.
Right.
And then he's forced to endure an incredible amount of energy. We see a combination of heat vision and nuclear stuff from
Right.
heat vision from our Kryptonian pals, nuclear energy from was it Firehawk and Firestorm and Captain Atom, and of course that binary energy Dr. Light has absorbed, and this
It was all shot at the monitor.
and again he is defeated.
Right. He is kind of just left an imprint on Quard.
His shell looks like an empty husk.
Yeah. And so
Heroes bail.
Wally West and the Demon Hunter are still back on Quard. They're kind of standing next to the husk of the
Demon
Anti-Monitor.
Hunter, the Psycho Pirate.
Yes, Demon. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
The yeah, the Psycho Pirate. They're actually saved by I think it's Superboy.
Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
Yes. I should just say.
And so the Alex Luthor has once again become both antimatter and matter.
And open this new portal for them all to bail back to the Matter universe.
Right. So the Earth and Moon can go back
Yes.
to the universe.
Yes, that's right, because they had been pulled to antimatter.
Right.
So as everybody's going back into the portal, but then we
the-
see a spark of life back in the anti-monitor. So
Right.
Superman of Earth 1 and 2 remain.
Right. And Superboy.
Oh, yes.
Let's see. Oh no, it's not Superboy who saves him. It's
Firestorm.
Firestorm. And so Anti-Monitor again gets back up and starts to charge. And he lets out a massive blast of antimatter energy and just nails Wonder Woman with it.
So this is the Wonder Woman of Earth 2.
Yes.
And she's dead.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
No, Earth 1.
Here's Earth 1. Oh, really?
Yes, I think so.
Holy crap. Well, that's okay.
Yeah. But we have Superman going back to fight the Anti-Monitor with Lady Quark. Yeah, and so she's actually they're both kind of Superman from Earth 1 and Lady Quark are gonna go back to fight, and Superman of Earth 2
kicks him the hell out of here. He's like, this is my fight.
Yes. And so Superman goes back to fight, kind of alone, and he starts doing a pretty good job. Superboy saves Superman from Earth 1 and Lady Quark.
Yeah,
Lady
Lady
Quark.
Quark. They're on Quard, but
They're
it's
on
Lady Quark.
Right.
Yeah.
And he realizes, you know what? I don't have a home either.
Yeah.
I need to stay. And
Mhm.
so he just flings the other two through the portal.
As it closes,
As it
Alex
closes.
closes it.
And so all that is left are Superboy, Superman, and
And the Anti-Monitor.
the Anti-Monitor.
With Alex Luthor as witness.
Alex Luthor as witness, exactly. And that's important because although we see Superman and Superboy fighting very heroically, they're not going to be able to do much to the Anti-Monitor.
Right. I see Darkseid here. I don't remember. Does the Omega beams come into play here? I don't remember.
I actually forgot a part, I think. Unless I was completely wrong. Oh, yes. The Anti-Monitor is hit full force with the captured...
the captured Shadow Demons. They hurl that at him.
Right.
Oh,
but rather
that's
than
right.
gaining energy from it,
It weakens him.
it weakens him because they're all just being destroyed, and so it hurts him.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
And so we have an extra set of eyes watching.
If you throw a grenade into a fire,
right?
Yeah. So it disperses the fire.
We have an extra set of eyes watching this fight. Those extra eyes being those of Darkseid,
Lord of Apocalypse.
right? And he's using his special monitor to view through the eyes of
Alex Luthor. Oh, cool.
And so Superman and Superboy are going to town on the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, I mean, cutting loose like you would never see them do before.
And I mean, they're getting their share of hits too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're grasped at one point by the Anti-Monitor.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, he's also weakened by that last blast of the
Shadow Demons?
The Shadow Demons.
Right.
An actual weakened state.
Yeah.
And from it,
his shell is destroyed, and he's barely hanging on.
Right. And out of that, through the conduit of Alex Luthor, Darkseid launches his
Omega Beam, I think?
I think so. His Omega Beam through the eyes of Alexander Luthor.
Wow.
And just completely decimates.
Well, yeah, the Omega Beam is serious business, so.
Decimates the Anti-Monitor. But, yeah, but now the Superman and Superboy are alone with Alex Luthor, and yeah, they're alone. They don't have any way of getting back to Earth.
But the Anti-Monitor is dead, destroyed.
Yes, for a moment. One final push by the Anti-Monitor.
Okay.
Comes from he's actually from the Omega Beam. He's launched into the Binary Suns.
Mm-hmm.
And his last push comes as like a kind of looks like a flaming ball of, energy.
Yeah.
And Superman from Earth 2 has had enough.
As he says here, yes.
Yeah, and he knocks it back with a super punch.
Yeah.
It is over. The sun is exploding though, because of all the energy.
That binary star in the antimatter universe.
Yes.
Okay.
It's exploding, and all three of them realize that there's nowhere that they can get to in time to escape.
Right.
And the only thing that Superman from Earth 2 regrets is not having Lois by his side.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you remember,
I do remember.
Alexander Luthor was watching as Superman and Lois said goodbye.
Yes.
And it turns out that Alexander Luthor saved her from utter destruction.
Within his own...
Within himself, yes.
Yeah.
In a kind of blissful place.
Right.
And he tells Superman and Superboy that, hey, we have nowhere to go but here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go, you can, or you can stay here. And so they decide to go, and they decide that, you know what, any place is better than here, and there I'll have a home.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's kind of how the Anti-Monitor is destroyed. There are a few more scenes here. One with the explanation of what happened to Wonder Woman. It's kind of confusing, and
Yeah, this is where Wonder Woman stuff gets confusing. But
right.
it's okay.
She's kind of like brought back to a state of before she was born, or
Yeah,
something.
because remember, she wasn't like... She was formed of, like,
Yeah,
stone or something,
right,
and became alive, like Pygmalion.
right. And so Zeus saw that how well she personified those aspects of the gods.
It's so like Pygmalion. Okay, yeah.
That he brings her back,
Yeah.
and there they would live happily ever after. We then go back to I guess there's
There is but one Earth.
right. We are left with one Earth, and there they are mourning the loss of heroes. Wildcat Hawkman among wounded, and so Hawkman did survive his attack.
Yes.
Dr. Phosphorus. And then we have kind of a rebirth of a character.
Oh yes, Wally taking up the mantle of the Flash.
He finds out that the disease that was killing him every time he ran is in remission.
Yeah.
And he takes up the mantle of the Flash, which is awesome. It has a little background to Jonah Hex.
Yeah, since he goes to the future somehow.
Yeah.
It's weird. I haven't read those Jonah Hex in the Future stories.
Right.
So.
And
Commandy, the last boy on Earth, the period of the Great Disaster no longer happens, so he becomes Tommy Tomorrow in this new timeline.
Right.
It sucks because Jack Kirby's awesome work is essentially apocryphal then.
Right. Yeah. And so then we have Lily Quark, Pariah, and Layla, all talking about how it's important to keep these things remembered.
Right.
That all these stories are important.
But it should be remembered that most people will not remember the crisis.
Right.
They'll have a vague kind of, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So we're left with one world, and in the end,
Psycho Pirate's still nuts.
Psycho Pirate is nuts. He's claiming that all these things happened, but the doctor's like, that didn't happen.
It's crazy.
So it's crazy.
You cray.
Right.
Psycho Pirate? What? Have you heard that? People seem to say that now.
Cray? Yeah.
You cray. It's
I'm
so
not
obnoxious.
a big fan. Yeah.
Really obnoxious.
And so we have the final frame.
Last panel.
It says, not the end, the beginning of the future.
Hey,
and there we have it.
We're headed for the future. So anyway, that's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah. What else? What do you want to say about that, Spencer?
Oh man, there's just so much to say. If you love good art, if you love great tales of heroism and just I mean, it's almost Shakespearean. That heroes die, you know.
Yeah.
Heroes aren't supposed to die, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And
unless it's for the greater good.
Right. And in this case,
unless it's for sacrifice, you know, for as much as our spoiler-filled conversation about this has gone on, I seriously think anyone who's listened to this and has never read Crisis could still go and be like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
We did not do this story justice.
Didn't do you, the listener, an injustice, because you could still go and read this if you've never read it and be like, holy moly.
I think we talked about this. The death of certain characters was spoiled for me.
Yeah.
When I read it, but the impact of their deaths was not an issue. Right. I mean, it was still incredible. but yeah, great tale of yeah. I mean, Marv Wolfman and George Perez,
Perez.
they're great.
Yeah.
I can't say anymore.
I mean, if you read this and you read that, it's like you're gonna want to go and be like, I want to go read the Teen Titans comics of the 1980s because they were the writer artist team on that book, which is real good. I've read some issues; it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is a story, a lifetime in the making. I mean, Marv.
It's 50 years in the making.
Right.
It was DC Comics' 50th anniversary story.
Right.
And what a story.
Right. And I mean, in the introduction I read by Marv Wolfman, it was a story that he's been wanting to do a long time. He just didn't know how to do it. And I mean, he posed. I think he said he posed the idea to Marvel executives, and they just laughed at him.
Marvel executives.
Yeah. Not for.
Not for this.
Not for this, but something similar.
Oh, interesting.
But in the Marvel universe. I don't know. His character of the Monitor, it was the librarian at one point.
Yeah. I remember that. I don't remember Marvel being part of the conversation,
but I mean, yeah, he was laughed at. But I mean, DC picked it up, and I mean, what a great story they've told.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just terrific. I mean, we could just throw all these wonderful compliments at it and still not do it justice.
Right.
It's such a monument. I mean, there's a reason we did, over 2 hours just talking about this book over several podcasts. It's deserving of lengthier discussion. Read it.
Yes.
Read it.
Go out and read it.
So, I mean, I guess that's about that for Crisis.
Right.
Did we, as a surprise, do we want to carry on with our next book? Start a little bit on that?
Yeah, we can. I started reading Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes, the Frank Miller classic.
Right, with Klaus Janson and Lynn Varley.
I don't know what Lynn Varley. I think she was the colorist.
Okay.
Pencils by Frank, written and penciled by Frank, inks by Klaus, colored by Lynn Varley. That's what it is. Okay.
I'm only a couple issues in.
Well, so you're halfway through.
Yeah, I am about halfway through, actually.
Let it begin.
And you know, I'm a fan. Like, I'm only a few issues in, and it's great storytelling.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Let's give a little backup. It's Batman is coming out of 10 years of retirement. Batman's over 50.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's halfway to 60, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's come out of retirement because Gotham is descended into chaos.
Right.
We're in
mutant gangs.
Yeah, we're in the dark, Reagan-y kind of Cold War time.
Mm-hmm.
The superhero community doesn't exist. Superman is our weapon against the commies. Much like I guess you haven't read Watchmen yet. So, but much as Dr. Manhattan was in Watchmen,
right,
which was the same in the movie. So
okay,
all right.
Yeah, I think we discussed this a little bit. I have kind of a hard time with the art. Some of it seems a little bit sloppy. But I
think Miller's style is looser than a lot of
but I mean, he does a great job with Commissioner Gordon, and whatever you see of Batman is very. I mean,
you get used to it. You kind of like, okay,
right?
Yeah. Miller's art style is a little different,
right?
I his Daredevil is cool. That's also done by Klaus Janson inked.
Okay.
But that looks different than this.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, maybe I was used to. Maybe it looked tighter because the famous Daredevil artist was Gene Colan, whatever, who had a looser style.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, he was cool.
Right.
I think the loose styles are fine as long as you have bright coloring. But this is done in so many gray tones,
right?
And it's to give that like bleak, like man, everything sucked Comics kind of
Right.
vibe, and
Yeah.
they get across that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's looks so dark, and it's intended to be.
Right.
And it's almost foreshadows like what Miller would do 20 years, well, not even, but 15 years later or so, with his Sin City stuff, which I've read some of those books and they're terrific.
Awesome.
And then you saw that movie.
Yeah.
Remember how that was done? I mean,
Right.
anyone who's read the comics, you look at the movie like, I couldn't believe that they translated it like they lifted it from the comic page. It was that.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take away from the story at all.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I think if you saw this story wouldn't have worked so well if you had someone who was very crisp like George Perez or John Byrne or any of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Batman fighting against. Well, at first he's fighting against the urge to be Batman. Bruce Wayne is.
Right.
He's hung up that mantle and made a promise to Jason.
Jason Todd, who had fallen, who was killed by the Joker.
Right, and so he had made a promise that he would hang it up and.
Ooh, so that's interesting. This book came out not long after that happened in regular continuity. So this is an alternate reality where he had hung up the cowl.
Right.
Because of that.
Right.
So yeah.
That's a good reminder that it is non-canonical.
Yes, this is probably the first Elseworlds book, and my edition is the 10th anniversary. It doesn't carry that seal, the Elseworlds kind of emblem.
Right.
But versions you'll see now that are currently in print will.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. I was reading it as canon.
And that's almost a way to go in, like, whoa, because it seems like heavier.
Yes, definitely. Oh, absolutely. The idea of him turning his back on that promise was... I struggled with that. Because, I mean, although Batman is the Dark Knight and the... doesn't care about the rules so much kind of figure.
But his word means something.
Yeah.
But if he's going to go back on it, it's just to be like, no, I can't keep a promise to Jason and by not being the Bat. I have to keep my promise to Jason by being the Bat no matter what.
Right.
So...
and so, I mean, he struggles with the pressure of becoming Batman again. And he... no, I like it. He takes up that mantle again to fight against the mutant gang
who just totally overrun Gotham.
Right. And I mean, it introduces a new Robin.
Yes.
Claire.
I don't recall, but
Claire something.
A girl
Robin.
Girl Robin.
Which I think is cool.
I definitely think it's cool.
It's not something you normally hear or think about even because Robin has
always been a guy,
the boy wonder,
right?
And so
in this story, it's great.
Yeah,
there's a sequel to this, Dark Knight Strikes Again or something.
Okay,
that Miller did like 20 years later, but yeah.
Okay, and so I mean, I'm about halfway through.
I don't you see the rise and return of Harvey Dent.
Yep.
And that's
about where I am.
Yeah.
So I mean, so far it's a definite go out, read it.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say.
It's okay.
I wanted to talk about the art a little bit, so we did.
Oh, okay. Okay. So next episode we'll be continuing our conversation about The Dark Knight Returns. We'll probably finish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That.
Yeah.
It's only a four issues in a trade, so.
I don't know what I'll be reading next. Do you have anything you're reading right now?
I think coming very soon we'll be talking about Watchmen. I think we've got some Spider-Man and Fantastic Four in the works. Avengers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading that trade.
So that's stuff you'll see coming up in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that's be enjoying that.
Right.
Chew on that num for upcoming episodes. I think that'll do it. I think for now. Thanks for listening, gang, and we will return very soon.
See you later.